Hello there, it's me, Sari, here again, and today, by request, I'm here to start a journey with a lot of fun card folding techniques. The first card I'll be showing you today is called a Surprise Pop-Up card. And the surprise is that when you have the card flat lying like this, in this case I'm actually having it in a book, just to have some favorite card folding techniques in here. So the thing is that the recipient is going to get something like this. And then there's a tag here, and with a string you're almost sort of trying to say, okay, what's going to happen in here? This could be interesting. So here's where the surprise part comes in. You can just pull the tab or tag, and then it's going to be a sort of an easel card by itself. And you can just have it lying flat on the table on a surface like this. So a surprise pop-up card, that's what we are going to make today. And in this case I do have sort of similar themes. All of these are made of craft paper, it seems like. The same thing goes with this one. Life isn't tied with a bow, but it's still a gift. Dare to dream big. And I think that it's a really good thing to use some proper sturdy paper, so it won't be too flimsy, if you know what I mean. So just go for some really sturdy cardboard. And here you have something, and it's nice to make a sort of a decoration on the front. Here we have another one. So if in this case, if this one is too flimsy, so I ought to have put this one a doubled layer or something. So this is where I'm at right now. To the hottest cougar in town, I hope you have a splendid birthday. Sort of roughly translated. And it's a whimsy stamp. No, it's not whimsy. It's a Kenny K stamp. I really like her. It's a flapper girl there. So the thing is that you can actually just pull this up, and you can have a statement there, and you could also have a statement up there. But the thing is to have this one in properly sturdy paper. And here's another one which I made years and years ago. Happy birthday, and I have some roses here. And the trick is to know where the score line is going to end up, so the roses will be just an enhancement or decoration there. So let's get started, and I'm just going to show you this big mama of an easel card, a surprise pop-up card. I did this one and I didn't have the measurement, so I spent almost a day making this one complete, but I hope that you, when you have seen how I made these, it's not going to be too difficult. So, surprise pop-up card. You might need a T-ruler, that will help you out. I'm also using a ruler, which for the first time I've actually found, with the centimeter guideline as well as the inch guideline in the same direction. Otherwise you just have to turn and twist the ruler. A pen, you could go for other pens also if you want to make a prototype and just, let's say, keep it for future reference. In this case I'll be using some colorful papers, just so you know that what I'm doing and what the meaning of these are. So I'll be using 4 colors here, if you can call white a color. Of course you can. So the thing is that it's going to end up looking like this with the prototype. And what you'll be needing is 2 pieces of paper that measure 11 by 14 centimeters, or in inches, approximately 4 5/16 of an inch times 5.5 inch. So 2 of those, so you can have a front and a back. And then you're going to need a white paper of the same size, actually, 11 times 14, or 4 5/16. I forgot about that one, didn't I? Or 5 and 5.5. So that's what you're going to go for. And for the tab or the tag, you could go for 8 by 14 centimeters, or if you want to go in inches, 5.5 times 3.25 of inches. So let's get started. So if you want to, you could start off by just making a sort of a frame around this paper. I chose to make it 2 centimeters. And centimeters and inches, well, it could be sort of, could it be, it's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Could it be 13, 16 or something? Just make a 2 centimeter frame, it's easier like that. And I just took my T ruler, put it onto the paper like so, And since it's going to end up there, it's really a handy tool to go for actually. So I'm just going to put it alongside the paper there, and then I'm going to find the 2 centimeter mark like so. I go skip ahead down there, and I could just twist the paper and so forth. And then afterwards, let's see, I should just show you the easiness of this, what I like about this, when I have to dot the eyes, so to speak. So if I do want to make a line between those parts, I'm having a baking board here, so I'm having a limited, not that much space as I would like to, limited space I might say. So in this case I'm just going to butt it up against there. I'm going to go from the 2 to the 12, because I do have a 2 centimeter frame. So it's easy for me. So now I have that line. So it's easy peasy working with a T-ruler. So it's a definite must in your scrap stash, I think. And then it's also nice to have a paper trimmer which has a needle thingy there. You shouldn't go for a circular blade, because then you're not going to be able to start from there and stop there, for example. So in this case I'm going to use the guidelines where the centimeter marks are, because I have a 2 centimeter frame there. So it's easy for me to line this paper up with the 2 centimeter mark just there. So I know that this one is in the right place, and then I'm going to find the 2 centimeter mark even on the ruler here. So this is why I like the Martha Stewart's paper trimmer. And there's also an enhancement. There's a magnifying glass there, so it's easy for you to know where you are. So I'm just going to see that where the 2 centimeter mark is there. And then I'm just going to put it, let's see if I have glide slid a little. And then I'm just going to put that into the paper, let's say. I mean, in this case you don't even need to measure all of these things beforehand if you have this kind of a trimmer. Just put it in there and pull it down to the 12, like so. So now you can see that perhaps I didn't measure things right. Let's see if I can just do it once more. Just go for the 2, and in this case I'm going to go from the 2, and I can actually feel where it has cut, and I could go down to the 9, because 9, 10, 11, there we have 2. And let's go for another 2 here. I kind of feel it where it has cut, point it there, and go to the 12. And in this case I'm not going to go further, now am I? So somehow the ruler wasn't correct. So perhaps there's a faulty thing with this one. Or perhaps I was just a little bit reckless, because if I look at this now, I have actually, you know, that one problem with this of course is that it might be difficult to see. It might be difficult to actually get the lines perfectly, but if I have the paper butted up like this, instead of having the paper on the surface and the ruler up here, of course there is going to be a little bit of difference. So that's actually a nice tip learned there. And then I'm going to go for a scoreboard, and it's nice to work with the inches, or I'm not sure. Well, I actually did put the inch marks here. So what I did after having made this frame was that I just turned it over like this and made marks at 4.5 centimeters and 9 centimeters. I could of course even go for the inches, 1.1 7/8 of an inch and 3 1/4 of an inch, and I'm just starting to make the marks from that line there. So in this case I'm trying to make the score marks only on this flap, not on the side panels or the frame. So I'm just trying to eyeball it, and I'm trying to get it there. And you know what, sometimes it's easier to have a sharp bone folder of sorts. So I'm just going to make sure that I'm lining it up somewhat, trying to make my way here, and I'm just making it softly from this one so I can do a bit of push here, and then I'm going to stop here. So I might need to do this a couple of times, and I'm hoping I'm actually ending up in the score where this one is. So here is the first scored line. There you can see it. So now I need to make the second one from 3 1/2. But since I didn't take it from the start, I can't make use of that line. So I'm hoping I'll be able to make it here. And now I'm going to crease it, or just use this. And here I'm going to push. I'm just going to make a mark like so. So now I have something going on there as well. So the first one needs to go up and the second one needs to go like that. So you need to make something that is going to look like this. And it's good, and also need to crease that one actually. You need to score that. So I'm hoping it's going to be in the right spot like so, because otherwise you won't be able to make that one glide and slide. So I'm hoping it will be alright. So I'm just going to fold it upwards like so. So now we have a hill or a tent, let's say. So what I'll be ending up with soon is I could have this white piece, which I have cut to size, so it's going to make a perfect fit for that. I'll be putting this one here later, not now. But what I could do now, when I have made the cut here, is that I could actually lift this one up to make a sort of a guideline for me, so I know where I can put my stamped text image. And I'm thinking that I won't be pulling this one further than here, so I could actually just leave it there and sort of make a faint rectangular there, so I know that this is where I can actually do some stamping, because when I'm pulling the tab it's going to be visible there. And perhaps after I have done my stamping I'll be erasing this rectangle away, of course. So now I'm ready to start gluing this one down. In this case I'm not sure if I'll be gluing it down. I think I'll just go for the let's see what it's called, the tiny attacher, just to make things simple. But I would recommend you to just sort of center it as best as you can and make sure that it's butted up like so. And just to remind you that it's really nice to use a proper kind of glue, or if you want to you could actually just fasten it like this, because if you want to you could decorate it with flowers and such afterwards. And in this case you can just try it out. Will it work? It will. And now it's time to start thinking about, okay, so this one is going to end up behind here and I have that square there, so I could just try it out. I mean, I like to work with the scoreboard here because then I can see that it's going to work out really well. And I'm just going to pull it up like that, and you can see that if I'm going to pull it like so, it's going to be a really nice place for me to do my stamping on. If I would like to, I could of course trim this down a little bit just to be on the safe side, so it won't be that visible having there. But on the other hand, perhaps you won't have that many different colors when you're making your card. So what you will do is put some tape here, here and here. Not here, because then it's going to get stuck there and you won't be able to move this one. So just tape or glue here, here and here as in a U shape. Put it there, make it stick, and then of course you could use some tape or glue on the complete back side. Put it there, and then you have your card. And then you're ready to just try it again. As you can see, I mean, I can see it's a white border, so perhaps I did cut the white paper a little bit too big. And imagine the card being like so now, so you can just do your pulling like this. And then of course you could decorate the tag in a fancy fashion like this. You could put an eyelet in there, put some string perhaps, and then you could also do your stamping. And before, actually, I've actually forgot to tell you that if you would like to, you could also make sure that on this tag it might be a good idea to mark out how far you can go with the thing that you're going to pull up. So let's see, I'm going to pull something up like this. Let's see. Make sure I have the paper in place. So if I'm going to pull it up like this, I can have my stamped image there, and if I'm going to stop here, I could actually have a stamped image here as well. And if I would like to have a white surface to stamp on, like this, then of course I could have a piece of paper that is the tops that far, that high, and let's see what that could be. It could be 12.5 centimeters, or it could be 5 inches, sort of tall. And I'm thinking that the width could be the same as it is here, either 8 centimeters wide or 5.5 inches wide. So I hope I make myself clear with this one. I'm sorry about that, I forgot about that step in the process. So having done so, you're going to have a lovely card, and I'm hoping that the recipient is also going to like this. So just to give you the final showing of these, I like this card quite a lot. I mean, this was one of those fun fold cards that started off my crafty career with. It's not a career per se, but I actually started out making these fun fold card folds. So that's it from me, surprise pop-up card. I'll be back with something else. I'm not sure when, but I'll be back. Bye-bye.